statement pieces. I want you to be able to decorate yourself, but let's just kind of keep it as like a little muted, or as a personal, little small thing. Nothing that kind of takes the focus away from the restaurant, the food, the cycle of service. Just kind of have it all be cohesive. Any questions on that? And also, if you have a question on if you want to wear this pair of earrings, or you want to, put this necklace on and you have a question, just ask. Also, part of that, if you ask, you might say no, but you can always ask. Okay? What are some other things on grooming that aren't up here that are important?
Breath.
Breath. Thank you.
Halitosis.
I'm not going to spell that. All right, so your breath. You have to, like when you're talking to somebody, sometimes you have a close talker and they're like, you kind of have to, like, the further that you kind of go away, the more that they come towards you. Make it a pleasant experience to speak with you. Not only are you saying really lovely things, it should also, be a magical moment. Okay? So, no gum though. It's more of like a mint situation. Okay? Or chomping on a lemon. What'd you say?
Tic Tac.
Yes, right, Tic Tac.
Recommend strips, those work well.
The strips are nice. Yes.
Yeah.
We can get as fancy or, or not, but definitely use them. Just no gum. And brush your teeth. Perfect. Thank you, Kitty. What else? Anything else?
How you smell?
How you smell. Just omitting smell. Okay, how you smell is very important. So there's one thing where obviously we're just going to talk straight up body odor. We work hard. We will work hard. Make good choices. Put your deodorant on. Have one in your locker. Maybe we'll have a spray one. Let's just be real. It's not being judgmental in any way. It's just the facts. We work hard, and sometimes there's a result. So we're going to have to just kind of monitor that. Don't want to wear really strong scented lotions or perfumes. That really affects the guest's ability to perceive the environment, because a lot of it, everything is reinforced by the next thing. So smelling, Britney Spears fantasy when you're, at the Raw bar isn't really what we want. I don't even know if that's but still, that's kind of, think about it. All of these things have to do with presenting an image. So just recognize that you are the image. Okay? What else? Okay. Cell phone free. In this day and age, we are all easily accessible. You have your social media, your social network, you have texts, phone calls, emails. We are all hooked up all the time. When you're in here, we're going old school with this. Leave your cell phone in your locker. You need to be ready and at a state of readiness at all times. You can't do that when you're looking at, what Jimbo did on Saturday night with, your ex-girlfriend or something. You have to be here. So keep them in your locker. That will be monitored. Also, when you're wearing jeans, like my phone is on me right now, you can see it. Like, you can see it, it's not cute. All right? So just, we're not gonna do that.
If you have ringers in your pocket.
Yeah, turn your silencers on. No, that's okay. But really down at the bottom, the base level, and what it's always gonna come back to, is that we wanna remain available to our guests. If you're wrapped up in what you're, whatever's going on your phone, you're not here. You're not here for the guest. And a lot of times in this business, things happen very fast. And our ability to successfully navigate situations has everything to do with your state of readiness. So this is how we're gonna remain ready. Any questions on that? Right. No smoking during the shift. Does anybody know why? It smells. Totally. Not only does it smell, how long does it take to smoke a cigarette? 7 minutes. Yeah, 5 to 7. I know too. Yeah, 5 or 7 minutes to smoke a cigarette. In 5 or 7 minutes, if you think about it, in restaurant land, that's a long time. A lot of stuff could happen that you are up and away for, okay? So when we're here, like we said, of leaving everything behind, we are fully here and fully present. We're not gonna be outside on our cell phones smoking cigarettes, okay? Any questions on that? Any feelings on that? No.
Fresh back.
Go ahead.
What about makeup?
Makeup, thank you. I want you to look beautiful. We want it to be kind of classic, nothing too over the top, nothing extreme, but again, you want to think like, I'm going and I'm meeting so-and-so's parents for the first time. Think about that impression that you make. But again, bottom line, I want you looking fly. Okay? That's good. Did that answer your question? Enough.
Understated but elegant.
Understated but elegant. There's also kind of in that same vein, shoot me a text message. Can I do this crazy eye? Whatever it is. Can I wear
a red lipstick?
I love red lipstick. Yeah, I love red lipstick. I think lipstick is like such a game changer, but we'll talk about this later. All right, excellent. All right, so we've kind of been hinting at this. Thank you, Harry. Again, as we're going through all of these rules, the reason why we have them is to support what we're doing here, okay? So we're going to be going back and forth between what we need and the guest perception, okay? So we are nothing without our guests. This is the first thing where you need to get your mind right on that. That's the perspective that we take. That's the direction that we take. We are nothing without our guests. They keep my lights on. They keep my water running. This is real, okay? It's about our guests. It's reciprocal, but we're here to create something. What we do is build memories and special moments in time. Think about it for a second. What was one of the best moments you have ever had with your family? Probably has something to do with some type of meal or special occasion. Yeah, think about that. You have to be, that's the cornerstone that you need to approach everything with. Guest perception is everything. We'll talk about this again later, but there is a difference between perception and reality. Okay, guest perception and reality. What a guest perceives may or may not be what actually is, but it doesn't really matter because it's about that perception. So what we're going to be doing is stacking the odds in our favor to be perceived positively by our guests. So you just have to be mindful of that as we go through. We have always be available to guests. I mean, that's with body language as you're leaving everything behind and you're approaching the ship with intention. This is that's what we're doing. A guest is the lifeblood of South. Not a cold statistic, not an interruption, and not a bother. The fact of the matter, what we do, like Tom said, it's hard. You gotta hustle, you have to have right timing, you need to be able to assess different priorities and different needs throughout. And just remember that it is not, it's not about you in that moment when you are talking about our guests, okay? You're the ones that are creating this moment for them, but it is not about you and what you did that morning or what, does that make sense? So in that time when, let's say the kitchen closes and I'll just pick a random time that is totally not true, so I'm not even saying that. Let's say our kitchen closes at 3 o'clock, and a guest walks in at 2:55. I would be pretty happy that I have another opportunity to make a little bit more money, to increase the exposure of this restaurant. We're going to be serving our guests and treating our guests the same way as if they were the first table of the evening. Doesn't matter if you were the last. It's got to be exciting. It has to be the same experience for everybody. Does that make sense? Okay, word. Customer versus guest. This is another thing to kind of help you with how we're going to be approaching this whole situation, this whole puzzle. The difference. This is silly. A customer buys rugs. A guest dines. A guest has an experience. So we're not going to use the word customer. That verbiage doesn't exist. They are a guest in our home, visiting our family, and that's how we continue. Okay? All right, now I'm going to bump around a little bit. Communication that we had talked about earlier. It's an open door policy. We want you to be yourself, not I don't want to see some version of you based on what you think I want or Harry wants. We want you. Okay? It's really important that you bring it. All right? When we're talking, gotta be constructive, be excellent. When we're talking about training and we're going through all of this, I'm assuming that you want to be excellent. So I'm going to treat you that way. Okay? So I keep checking in because I know that you've just been talked at for a while. So like, are we moving at a good pace? Do you want it faster? Are you all right? Thumbs up? Yeah. All right, cool. So within communication, there's also a mini phone tree that has started to go around that has everybody's name, cell phone number, and email. We'll be talking all the time, especially when it comes to scheduling. I have some of your needs already mapped out. I know that you guys have been having conversations with Harry as you have gone through, but I want a holistic scheduling need of availability, what you're looking for, and we'll be able to knock that out in going forward. You always need to be aware of your responsibilities, your commitment, and your team. It's important that you are here on time, as we have said. If there is a time at any reason where you can't work a shift, you have an emergency, you want to go to, communion, reunion, football, whatever it is, that's fine. I'm stoked that you are going. We'll ask you about it. I'm excited for you. But we do need to make sure that we're covered. All right? Yep, you are responsible, definitely. I've found, it's you have ownership over it, and that also increases your communication amongst each other and increases teamwork.
Does that go for requested days off too, or is that a little different? Okay.
Yeah, we'll detail specifically. The way that I have scheduled up until this point is that I create a fixed set schedule that everybody can rely on. But again, that's up for negotiation. But generally, I haven't accepted request off. I'm not saying don't go, but it is saying go. Who will be here? Okay, just make sure that we're covered. It's not being mean or aggressive. We need to make sure that we're covered. All right. Be on time, as Ryan has said before, within 15 minutes to spare. Does everybody do theater before? Do you know the saying? Have you heard that saying?
Yeah, if you're on time.
Yeah. If you're early, you're on time.
Right.
If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're dead. That's like from the theater, okay? It applies to restaurants, and we will be getting into this all the world is a stage.